got this for Christmas and I'm so curious about it. It's time to test these out and see what they're all about. See if it's worth getting. So let's have some fun with paint sticks. Why not? Okay, I just finished playing with these paint sticks for the first time, and I want you to stick to the end because I have some really unexpected results. So be ready for that, because for the while you're gonna be like, and then boom, what? So at least that's how I felt. So stick around to the end for some surprising results with this new product. Okay, so as a comparison, just to show you the size of the box. So it says there's 36. It's a variety pack, so you have some classic colors. Then you have neon and metallics. So we get to have a lot of fun. Take ourselves back to the 80s, 90s, maybe perhaps, with some metallics, those 90s. Remember those metallics, anybody? What other features? It says there's no water needed, easy and clean. Quick drying, great for posters. Okay, so no water needed, but they're water soluble. Okay, back and turn, bright colors. I don't know anything about these, so this is going to be completely new to me. But if you're looking in comparison to size here, this is like a 250 ml paint tub. So gives you some idea of the size. Let's clean this up a little bit. It's a good idea when you're trying a new product to get a sketchbook. So we're going to play in a sketchbook, and a sketchbook that can handle multimedia, especially if we need to add water to this. It says no water needed. So I'm not really sure what it's going to be like. I'm thinking, is it going to be something like in between like a pastel or something? Like, I don't really understand what this is going to be like. Or is it going to be kind of like a marker, like a paint marker, but it's a stick? Like, so I don't know. I don't really understand. Quick drawing. Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, we got a sketchbook that can handle multimedia stuff. I can handle paint in that. Let's open this up. 36. Okay. Oh, this is my first time opening it. Ooh, lovely. That's fun. It's like when you get markers, a set of markers. It's kind of like that. So I don't see any instruction. This shows the colors as well. Oh, look. Special for school use. For drawing and painting in a fun, easy, and clean way. For painting on paper, wood, and more. Instant application with no need for water. Protective glaze not necessary. Very practical, clean, silky finish, quick drying, solvent-free. Man, that sounds too good to be true. Let's test it out. Let's see. Let's just start with a color, any color. So it has a similar resemblance to a glue stick. So I don't know if you've ever, let's focus here. Okay, there we go. Paint stick, but it's similar to a glue stick as I'm holding it, because it has the same kind of twist knob. So that's interesting. So it looks like some kind of lip balm, a makeup kind of stick. Okay, I'm so curious. I want to feel this. Kind of feels like a blush stick or something. Weird. So strange. Okay, let's try it on some paper here. All right, so this is so weird to me. I don't even... This kind of just seems like I just thought I'd do some leaves or something to play with it. Okay. So first impression is it feels like oil pastels. So it doesn't really seem like paint. That's my first thought, is this doesn't seem like paint. But let's see if we can... It's kind of interesting though. Not that it's bad. I'm just saying, paint stick. What could that mean? Not that color. Let's go with this one. See how they blend. I'm thinking, even though it says you don't need water, that maybe you do want water simply to get more of a paint effect rather than just I don't know, an oil pastel effect. It's strange. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about this. We're just trying it out though. I don't want to put too much judgment on it, but that's, I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? Because I'm going to do these kind of things. I mean, it's cool that it isn't messy in terms of you're able to put a cap on it. And I can see why they're saying it's non-drying because, well, that's not going to dry. I want to try this gold kind of color. Oh, it's kind of like a yellow ochre. It is very smooth. But yeah, it's I kind of wondered how it could be paint, and seems like it's not. That's how I'm feeling it. Oh, a neon. Let's get some more neon. Why not? This is a kind of, ooh, that's fun. And not to say that this couldn't be useful. I'm just, I felt like it was going to be more paint, but I wasn't sure how a paint could be in a stick. So that's quite interesting. Let's do some coral kind of color for our last little row here. Okay, so off the bat, yeah, okay. I think you can kind of sense how I feel about this. It's not really paint, in my opinion. I mean, maybe it's the components of paint, but it doesn't read paint to me as I put it on paper. But if you're using, like it's saying, for school use, like special for school use, on a poster, like maybe I need to try, like this has a bit of texture, so maybe I need to try on something more flat. So let's see if we try it on that. I'm going to move this aside. I'm going to get something that's more smooth. We'll try it on something more smooth and see if it has a different effect. Okay, so I have this little pack of marker paper and it's very smooth. I think that's the smoothest surface I have. So I'm curious to see. Let's just pull out a page and keep it on something that's not, I mean, this is pretty smooth too, but let's give it a go and see what happens here. What color? Let's try a blue. So we could just do blue shape. It's like my class. It's like an eye shape. This is why I usually make this kind of shape. Okay, it is taking the texture, I think, underneath. Okay, interesting. I don't know what I was expecting, and that's the thing, when you have no idea, like I didn't watch any videos about what this product would be like. It is nice and smooth though. I could see how for a poster project that it could be great because it's no mess. I mean, that is true. And quick drying, I'm not really sure, like, is this going to dry? It has, okay. Okay, I'm not really getting any transfer onto my fingers, so actually that's really good. I'm like loving these neons. Okay, let's try something not neon though. Let's just get another kind of blue, kind of blend in. I think we're gonna try adding water to this because I'm really curious, what that's gonna be like. Let's get a darker blue to really get some. Oh, that wasn't that much darker. Oh, interesting. Okay. Thought it was gonna be much darker. Let's go with this one. Let's see. Ought to be darker. There we go. That's giving me some contrast. So I'm really curious to see what happens when we add to that. But you know what? This is a really great alternative to oil pastels, I would say, or similar like, or you want to introduce oil pastels to somebody and you're worried about the mess of oil pastels, because those can be quite messy, even just in your fingers. This, I'm not getting my fingers messy, so, you know, but it has a similar feel. I'm not sure if it's going to blend the same. That we'd have to test out. So pretty interesting anyways. Let's add a little other color here. Let's add this kind of magenta color maybe to this center part. You can kind of fill it in. Yeah, like it's pretty interesting product, depending what you're kind of looking for. Like if you're looking for fine art, I don't know. But if you're looking for something just to create some posters or do projects with younger kids maybe, then maybe something like this could work. And I mean, it's not, I mean, how quickly that went on and smooth and that kind of thing. And it's not going to be as smooth as marker in terms of the texture it shows on the paper. But let's try adding water to this now, because I think that will be really interesting to see if this makes it, you know, something I would actually use on a project. Okay, I have some water, but I also thought let's try some alcohol. So this is alcohol compound, 50%. So I know you can use that with chalk pastel, so maybe you can also use it, why not with this product? I have no idea. Maybe I'll create something that we don't want. I don't really know. We're about to find out though. So I need those things, and because alcohol dries quicker, so that's why I'm thinking alcohol might be a good choice to try. We're gonna try it on these ones. We're gonna try it on this one, and let's try it on these first. I mean, I like how it's organized. I do like the organization of it. I do like the non-mess. I do like certain aspects and elements of it, so it's not all bad. But let's just see how this goes. Maybe it's already dried and I can't do anything with it now. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, and because we're using water, that kind of thing, it's good to have a little rag, so I've got that ready to go as well. And then some brushes. So just any brushes with a good size to kind of test things out. So I'm going to try this one, see how it goes. Let's start with water. And if you're doing something where you have water in one jar and like alcohol in another, just make sure you either label them or have enough difference in them that you know which one is which. You can also smell it, but anyways, let's start with water and see how this goes. Or if it's already dried. If it won't do anything. I thought it might be kind of like a water crayon type of thing. Okay, what I'm gonna do is put some on. And then right away get into this, see if it makes any difference. Maybe there's not enough pigment. I do feel like it's not really dissolving into the water. I'm just moving around the little dots of pigment. It did seem to work a bit better there. Let's see if we use the alcohol, if that's going to make any difference. Okay. Again, it's just moving the pigments around. It's not, doesn't seem to be kind of dissolving into it. Okay. What I want to try is, I'm just trying the same color so that we can have a comparison that's similar. If I really color it in like that, I mean, now maybe that guess how you're supposed to use it more. I'm not sure, but let's try adding a color next to it and see if we can make it kind of blend in, see what happens anyways. Let's try the alcohol, and we'll try kind of blending into one another. I'm not sure this is a good use of it. Well, kind of worked a little bit. Okay, let's see if any of these other colors will blend. I'm kind of thinking they won't. That won't be any different. So it might just be a waste of time. One thing I'm curious about is like how those two blended. If I can do the same thing, let's just try a different color. I don't know how messy it's going to get on the actual stick, but if I take kind of another color and kind of, okay, interesting. Curious about the opacity too. Look how it covered that one, but it didn't cover that one. Let's see if it'll cover the green. Kind of changes it a little bit, but it didn't cover it. This is plain. This is what you do with new materials. This is why you don't just start your next project with new materials that you've never used before for something you're going to be selling, a product. It's very interesting to see how it interacts with previous colors. I do like how that one worked. That looked nice. This one is a little more opaque, I guess. So you're not going to see that anywhere on the actual stick. You might just have to guess, okay, that has a bit of white mixed into it, so it'll probably cover. Like, I would think this has some white in it, so it's going to cover a bit better than some. Oh, it's still showing through on some of them. And depends how much you go back and forth a little bit. But for that one really stayed, like that showed through really well there. But yeah, this is covering. And then if I go for something I think maybe doesn't have any white in it, but still light, let's see, like a neon, I don't know if this would have any, oh, yeah, it's covering up the yellow. I guess to make a pink you need white, so you can kind of do some layering with these a little bit. And I guess it's an alternative to markers. So if, let's say, you're doing a poster project or something and you don't want to use markers for whatever reason, this gives you kind of that crayon texture. I guess I wonder why these over crayons, for instance. Are they a bit better than crayons, maybe? Maybe they have a bit of a better look to them. Let's try coloring in now that we've got more on here. So I think you have to have enough of the pigment on there to kind of create this watercolor type of look, or kind of smoother look. Just going into, right? So you can kind of fill in some of that so you don't have that rough edge. So that's maybe how I could see them being useful for somebody working on a project. Or just keep it as is and you don't have to use any water. You just have that that look. Now, let's switch back to this other piece over here and see if we can blend it in. I might add a bit more pigment to it first. Let's see. Let's just try it out. I am using a soft bristled brush. Don't know if that's going to make a big difference. If you're doing a lot of this kind of action, it might just ruin the brush. So if you're doing that, you might want to go with something a little more stiff, but that could scratch your paper. So kind of have to find a happy medium, I guess. So let's go here and just dabbing off a bit. We're going to see if this paper makes any difference and if we can do something interesting here. Maybe it's just having the right kind of paper, going for the right kind of color blend. I do feel like it's picking up, interacting with it. And why it's nice to use the alcohol instead of water is it's going to dry quicker, which will be a bit easier on the page. And I guess if you're impatient. Maybe this could be used as a mixed media tool in some of your art. I wonder if it could be used for sketching on a painting, like sketching on your drawing for a painting. I wonder if that would be a good use for it. Just hitting up this edge to smooth it out. And you wouldn't have to smooth out the whole thing. You could, you know, depending on the piece, maybe you have areas you wouldn't want to smooth out. Maybe you want to keep some of those more textured lines. Just depends on the effect you want. So I guess, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So yeah, I think it does seem to have worked a bit better on marker paper, actually. So this is just marker paper. If you look at the back of my paper, it's kind of got a bit of, oh, there you can kind of see how it's bubbling just a bit. Got a little drip there at the top. Very curious. One last place I want to try it is the black mixed media paper. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little quick forest scene with the light coming this way. So let's just think about a couple things, what colors I'm gonna want. Maybe some of this kind of yellow ochre kind of tone, just to kind of block out some of where I want the light to be. This might be where I find this the most useful, is on my black mixed media paper. So this is kind of where my horizon line I've inputted. So I'm just kind of indicating some areas of light. It's not going to be my lightest light, so keep that in mind. I'm going to kind of bring, I guess it depends where our light's coming from. I need to think on this. I'm just going from my brain, not from an image, which can be challenging with lighting sometimes. So let's consider where my perspective is coming from here. And I want maybe my brightest point. Let me bring these all the way up. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep that there so I know I've used it. Yeah, I'm going to kind of create a spot that's going to be brightest and see how kind of bright we can get this with some neon. Yeah. Where's the metallics? I guess the gold was the metallic. How many metallics did it say? 6 metallics. There should be 6 metallics. I learned that you should introduce, if you have a color, it should be kind of in each quadrant of the painting. That doesn't mean it has to be like the same weight, and it shouldn't. I don't think it should be the same weight given to it. Let's try white. Let's try this white. Gonna dirty it up too. Ooh. Okay, you guys. Okay. Suddenly I'm really excited. Okay, la creme de la creme. Here, we found it. This is where we're rocking. Okay. What? I went from, okay, I'm never going to use these, to hello, yes, please. Love it. Okay, very cool. The white. You're my favorite. Hello, white. Nice to meet you. You're amazing. Let's get some greens going in here. Different greens. So they're not going to be as strong over the black necessarily. It kind of depends on what kind of forest we got going on in here. And I want to leave some space for some other colors too, for shadowing and that kind of thing. And the actual trees themselves, probably want to give them a bit of color. Maybe it's, should there be a warm glow? Depends what kind of time of day it is. Okay, I'm gonna put, oh, I guess I'll keep them out. I'm kind of feeling like there should be some of this kind of deeper, like red kind of warmth happening with regards to this. Maybe it's sunrise or something. Suddenly I love them. Suddenly they're amazing. Okay, I want kind of this mossy green, see what can be done with this. I need to add some blues in here. This is definitely not a fully formed work of art by any means. Give it some warmth. Bring it that orange glow. Now it's going to look like a fire. Different shapes, kind of throwing in different shapes in here. A bit more of that. Get some of that purple. Need some purple in here to bring in deeper tones. So you can kind of see how it brought in a deeper tone than the paper. Which is interesting. You wouldn't think that because it's black. But it's almost a soft black. These kind of mixed media blacks I'm finding. It's kind of this abstract forest. I feel like we should do a Bob Ross, pull in some trees that are like right in front of us to kind of give some foreground, some background. Oh, I went over the white. Gonna take another color, like a blue. Oh no, I want that deep blue, this one. Oh yeah, that gave me kind of this dark. Gonna do a bit of that. Plain. This is called plain. And this is not product mode. This is not trying to make a beautiful work of art. This is testing out materials and seeing what can be done. Let's see. I want to bring a little warmth. So these trees could have some kind of warmth brought to them, depending on the scene, what's happening, what you imagine is happening to all of, you know what, let's bring a little bit more on there. I feel like I want to bring a bit of blue, like there's some kind of like blue in the sky. Okay, now there's, I have more of these than the ones in there, so now it's like using the negative space. Get the sky in there. Kind of filling in. Like I said, this is pretty abstract like, but I have found my purpose with these. Here it is. That is so much fun. That white, I could just play around with just the white and have so much fun with it. Like, already am. You could tell how much things changed when I brought it to this paper versus where we were at before. And I'm just doing it very softly on these trees because I don't want that to take away from the focal point there. Well, I think it's created kind of an interesting composition. Something interesting, I'd say, is a good word for it. I mean, let's get some more yellow. Ooh, that's pretty fun too. Look at that. Fill in some yellow in here. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. And I think what the sky would be fun is to do maybe a different color in there too, like a pink, some kind of pink in the sky. I don't know if that's the right color. Maybe this pink, this kind of coral color. Can kind of blend with it a bit. And my hands are not messy, so I really like that. I don't like it getting my hands that messy, really. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know why I put kind of a warmer tone at the top of the sky. Doesn't really make sense, but I guess I'm gonna have to blend it in there. That doesn't, I'm not playing by the rules here. But yeah, could be a fun product for, definitely for black paper. Try on other colored paper. This is a fun thing. I've changed my mind. I like it. It's good. Give it a try. I will put it in my products that I recommend from Amazon, because that's where these came from, as notified to me by the purchaser. So I will kind of want some texture on these trees a bit. So yeah, you can check out my product recommendations, and that includes other products that that I like to use. I don't have a lot on there because I don't get all my art materials from Amazon. Sometimes it's better to get them in the store. Often a lot of my paints I get in store, but some of the materials you can get on Amazon are better deals. But it's always good to kind of double check with your local like art store to see what they're selling product for. Little abstract piece. Kind of cool. I think I'm going to sign this. I mean, it's not, it's kind of cool. I don't know. I like it. I kind of like it. Oh, not very good at signing with these. There's my signature. Flop. That's okay. It'll be very hidden, mysterious. Well, what do you think of this little piece I created of these paint sticks? Let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up to continue giving me support for my channel. I kind of like this actually. I think I might put it in my shop. What do you think? It's kind of this cool abstract-y piece. My first real piece with the paint sticks. We'll see if we make more of them. I'm sure I'll have a little more fun in my black paper. That's the way to go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your thumbs ups, your shares, your likes, all of that. It helps me so much and I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next time. Have a fantastic week.